Good Sunday afternoon, Albert JTV, and most importantly, Arsenal community. Time to talk Arsenal. Hashtag control the tempo, Martin Zubimendi. Victor Gyökeres, hashtag Glock 14. Pre-season, Manchester United away next week, next Sunday. Plenty to talk about, but before we get into it, people, let's smash the famous weekly surgery intro. We'll be back shortly. Footballing community. Waiting time is now over. The Albert JTV practice is now open. The surgery required is Premier League talk and any other business. Let's get to work. Welcome to the weekly surgery. Yes, good afternoon, people. Welcome back to Albert JTV. Smash the like button on the way in and subscribe to Albert JTV. Instagram and Twitter handles going along the bottom of the screen. Audio listeners, look out for the downloads on Spotify and Apple, wherever you get your podcast from. Welcome to Albert JTV. Hashtag episode 42 of Weekly Surgery. Time to talk Arsenal. People, hope you're enjoying your Sunday afternoon. Hope you're relaxing if possible. Big up to the people that went to the game yesterday for Arsenal's last preseason game at home to Bilbao, 3-0 win. Plenty to discuss. Hopefully you guys can hear me well on the microphone because I made the amateur mistake, which can happen for us podcasters, where you forget to turn it on, which is not a smart thing to do. But love to the people when you arrive in the chat. And like I said, on the way back when you watch this, if not live, smash the like button, please. It'd be very much appreciated. And we are also going live on Instagram. It's actually managed to connect properly for once, which is it's a bit up and down, but it's managed to do it. But let me come to the chat quickly because somebody is already there. Yes, Boogie, what's going on, brother? Big up my bro Scott, man, my brother from another mother, all the way in down under, 11 hours ahead. If I've got that right, Scott. Scott, going forward into the season, obviously working on time difference. As you know, I do like to do a Sunday stream, which works very well for me. So I'll be getting you on more, mate, because I know the time difference is mad. But I love to get you on, man. I love talking Arsenal with you. So love to you, brother. Where do I start? Because a lot of the preseason games, I'm going to be honest, I was at work at the time when in Hong Kong and Singapore, and even the first game against Villarreal in the week. Couldn't get home from work quick enough. So I was going really by word of mouth and also the brief highlights that I did manage to find sort of via going YouTube. But I had a famous saying last season, 3 words in particular: copy, paste, repeat with Arsenal. And for sort of the murmurings, the North London derby in the tour in Asia, what people are seeing against Villarreal, the game obviously against Newcastle. People are saying they don't really see that much of a difference. But they did take into consideration, if you choose not to listen or you want to listen, it's up to you. But they were saying, look, it's pre-season, the players want to get their fitness up, but they also want to see stuff that's implemented within the pre-season that you think, actually, this is different from the 24-25 season. Are we moving the ball quick enough? Are we taking less touches? Are we more attacking from wide areas? And the overriding emotion I got from feedback from people, big up Nicolau and Kenny Ken, Jimmy Changa, and my Arsenal brothers in the chat. They weren't too pleased, man. Let me come to the chat quickly. Jenny Hogg, you absolute diamond. I had a good little quick chat with Russ yesterday, talking all things football, but hopefully I'll get to see you at some point in the season. It's difficult to get tickets for Arsenal anyway, but I think for me personally, as many guys on my channel will know, and people who are newly joined or old subscribers, in terms of Arsenal's window and, you know, cementing getting a number 9, I was on the Victor Gyökeres train from December 2023. And I've been on that train ever since. People said Isak, people said Tony, people said Vlahovic, people said Watkins, people said Osherman. I said no, Victor's the one I want. Šeško has obviously been courted for quite a while, but yeah. And Jenny, love to you, man. Love to see this. Like I said, it's difficult to get tickets. It's going to be even harder this season because I don't know what the figure is for Red members. I'll have to speak to someone like Tom Idno. But yeah, I didn't get one for, you know what, I'll be honest, right? I said this to people just because of work and probably things to do. I forgot to apply in the ballot for Leeds. I did, happen sometimes. Didn't get the one for Forest, so I'll still be on the lookout for that. I love a 12:30 kickoff. And then I'm not sure if people already found out if they've got one for Man City or not. I haven't had anything come through, but then I haven't had anything to say that they're taking money out of my account, which is the thing I like to see. A little NatWest sign come up to see that I've got the ticket for the game, but it's not come up yet. But big up to people when you do eventually get a ticket for Arsenal this season. Hopefully it should be worth it. Tell me about it, Jenny. Silver ballot. Oh dear. So yeah, listen, I got to watch obviously the first preseason game properly for me yesterday against Bilbao. I managed to sort of get the link for the game eventually about 10 minutes into kickoff. I won't go into the sources of how we watch the games, but people know, if you know, you know. And actually, I probably saved the best game to watch really from an Arsenal point of view during this preseason. I think for me, and if I sort of try and strip it back, Arsenal for me, if I'm going by what I saw yesterday, there was quick, there was more direct, and there's more incisive. I sort of want to talk about a couple of players now. I'll sort of touch on fringes of the game, but I still want to focus in sort of talking about United away, and obviously we've kind of discussed about pre-season. People drop in the comments of the games that you saw, because obviously I was at work and I missed a large proportion of Arsenal's pre-season games. But one of the signings we did talk about, and this is my thoughts about Martin Zubimendi. And from what I had seen of him in Sociedad shirt, and obviously for Spain when he did play, I'll put the caption on there for all the listeners. I've got a picture of Martin Zubimendi on hashtag control the tempo. Great PR video that they had for Arsenal for introducing Zubimendi. I think the thing I like about him, and it shouldn't really be a surprise for people to hear me say this about Martin Zubimendi, but people sort of like we brought up sort of in playing in Spanish football and the Spaniards. It's very rare you see with him where he takes more than 3 touches of the ball. Hence the reason why I put hashtag control the tempo, because he likes to look forward and release the ball quickly and to get Arsenal on the front foot. Now, people get obsessed with upgrades on previous players that were at Arsenal before. I kind of like to rip up the sort of the manual and the book and just say, look, we judge the player for what we've got and from what we've heard and what we've seen from before. And it was highlighted with the fantastic cross for Victor Gyökeres's goal. And what I want to see more from Arsenal this season, and I think it ties into having players like Zubimendi, is that what you want to see Arsenal do is become a better team when in possession and transition the ball a lot more quicker. Because one thing that really got on my bloody nerves last season, going to the game, is guys in the chat, you tell me if you feel the same or you disagree. We moved the ball way too slowly, man. Way too slowly. I'm not sure if that comes from the instruction from the manager in terms of how we build up in possession. I'm not sure if it's the players taking too many touches, which I've been very, very guilty of. Not guilty of, so I've been very, very on, for example, the captain Martin Odegaard's case, because for me, he holds onto the ball too long. He takes too many touches and it slows things down. Hopefully with Zubimendi here now, things will be a little bit quicker. Declan Rice can break forward more in those more advancing roles in the 8. We've obviously got Saka back after a long-term injury last season. Probably still needs to feed his way a little bit in more. You've got Madueke, who can also obviously play on the right, but gives us more balance with him on the left, because we've actually got a natural left footer playing on our left-hand side of the pitch, which has been a talking point for Arsenal fans for so many years. But Zubimendi, I was incredibly impressed. And I think the biggest compliment I can give to him, and people might have picked up on this already, but this is just my general observation, is that he is, we talk about his ability and his qualities in terms of moving the ball, progressing it quicker, moving it forward. He does some very, very, more than very good defensive displays, getting the ball back off the opposition. He's very, very good at that. And that's something that's going to be key to how he plays and fits into Arsenal in terms of moving the ball quicker. And also, someone like a Declan Rice will love that, winning the ball back quicker, winning the ball back higher up, winning the ball back when teams are pressing us, sort of going deeper into defensive lines. So he's very, very impressive with that, Zubimendi, which needs to get a little bit more credit for. But yeah, absolutely fantastic display. Yes, we can talk about the quality of the opposition. Bilbao worked fantastic, and they weren't, to be honest with you. But for me, what I want to look at more so, as I think I might have mentioned a little bit earlier, is we need to recreate more partnerships on the pitch. And if we can see what we saw yesterday with the goal for Victor Gyökeres, with the cross from Zubimendi, that link-up play, Gyökeres will love having Zubimendi in the side. I still think we need more creativity personally, and we'll talk about somebody is playing in the Community Shield today, who a lot of Arsenal fans, including me, want from SE25 to come to N5. So hopefully that will happen. But yeah, Zubimendi, really good displays over pre-season, but obviously getting to watch him play in the flesh and see what he brings. This could be potentially Arsenal, maybe Arsenal signing of the season. We're not too sure. But before we move on to the next segment, people, as I like to say, smash the like button, subscribe to Albert J TV, and if you don't know what to do by now, this is what you should do. We'll be back after this short intro. And there you have it, people. Like, share, and subscribe. Audio listeners, if you're wondering what the funky, energetic music was, it was a slight intro into Albert J TV. So subscribe, people. And audio listeners, hope you enjoyed the listen when you listen to it back. Let me come to the chat quickly because I don't want to neglect you guys. Let me come to the chat again. Let me come up. Yeah. Jenny, all we can do is keep trying. Keep trying. AFC always big up to you. Rice and double pivot, much better than him as a left 8. You know what? It's still a talking point, Declan Rice. Some people are more convinced he's an 8. Listen, he's not a Gerrard or a Lampard, but you can also have him not necessarily in the 6 role, but in a more of a deeper role, and just push Martin Ødegaard on more. Stop receiving the ball off the centre backs. Receive the ball off your other midfield players. That's what I want to see a lot more from Martin Ødegaard. Ryan Arsenal, big up to you, man. Excellent mod job you're doing, bruv, across all channels, man. Big up to you, man. Yeah, Zubi was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Saka goal was crazy football Arsenal. And you know what's interesting with that goal? And actually, if you look at the Villarreal 3rd goal in the week against Arsenal don't score many goals like that, man. They just don't. And I've always complained Arsenal need a lot more pace in the side, but we just don't generally score goals like that quickly on the counter. 1 pass, 2 pass, boom, goal, done. You saw the play. Was it Gyökeres to Ødegaard? Ødegaard over the top to Martinelli. Martinelli squares it off to Saka. Goal. What's that? 3 passes. Goal. Look how quickly you turn defenses around. You need to see that more. It's too slow. It's too slow. Absolutely too slow. Zubimendi was bossing it 100%. Tyrell Guna, big up to you, bro. Keep doing the work you're doing, man. Keep shining, brother. Jay Dye, my guy, man. I'm here in Morocco, so I'm just dipping in to say hi, but I'll see you later. See you at the Emirates in a few weeks. Hopefully, bruv, fingers crossed. Got some good contacts to get tickets, but even with that, there's no guarantees, man. Jenny will testify to that 100%. Big up to you guys. Yeah, love guys, man. Big up to you guys in the chat. There's my guy, man, from my... James, I need to make you a mod. Let me see if I can do it as I'm talking to you now. Oh, sugar. Let me see if I can do it, man. I should be able to make you a mod whilst doing a live, but because I've got your channel as a mod, but I've not got you as a mod in terms of your like YouTube account. Let me read your comment out. That will help. Big up my brother James Johnson, man. Go and subscribe to James Johnson Football. Just got the build up to Celtic Aberdeen on, but Chris Boyd is chatting absolute trash. So I thought I'd switch on to the Arsenal brother instead. Gyökeres is really poor in the air, hey, idiots. James, let me see if I can make you a mod whilst you're live with me. No, I can't. I'll have to do it when I come off the live stream. Yeah, big up, man. Need the chats. You see with the Gyökeres thing, I was chatting to Kenny Ken this morning. Big up Kenny Ken, bro. I don't know when and you know what, let me be very, very clear before people start thinking, oh yeah, but he scored ahead of yesterday. You guys are getting excited. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there was a narrative that started sort of getting thrown out there on the socials, on YouTube channels, that he's not good in the air. Now, was that from rival fans? Was that from some of our, I don't know, maybe so-called Arsenal, other Arsenal podcasters saying he's not good in the air? Where did that come from? Because I'm unsure. I'm really, really unsure. I'm not too sure. But anyway, let me come to Big Vic, Glock 14. Jimmy Johnson, good timing, man. I talk about Big Victor. He had the chance in the first half. Saka done some great work, quick feet, cuts the ball back. One thing I like about in strikers in general who get it, and what I saw from Big Victor yesterday, is that he made that initial run to go to the near post. Then Saka's obviously got a bit deeper into the box. Then he's made the initial run to step back and really should have buried that and hit the target. But one thing I noticed yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw it. I know you probably don't pay too much attention to rival fans. I don't blame you. But with the fantastic Zubimendi cross. Oh no, there it is. The fantastic Zubimendi cross. What a cross, by the way. His movement, it's like he already knew that the cross was going to come in. Now, as far as I'm aware, they've never played together before, Zubimendi and Gyökeres. But when I talk about partnerships, I'm really, really hoping that these guys, once they get used to each other, once they get embedded into the team even more so, you'll see moments like that where Zubimendi won't even look. He'll put that first time crossing, he'll put that first time passing. And Gyökeres, what a run and what a header. Let me come back to what I was saying about in terms of the rival fans, because people do everything for content now. You've got certain channels that would clip rival fans, and I saw the reaction yesterday from some of the rival fans in terms of the first goal for Gyökeres. They dropped the ego, they dropped the BS, and you could see in their tone and how they were speaking, they're like, oh, okay, now we see what people were seeing about this guy, because the movement was brilliant. Got across his defender, fantastic glancing header, fantastic goal. I'm so glad he got his first goal for Arsenal, man. Absolutely buzzing. Hashtag Glock 14. And for me, he's nowhere near match fit. Nowhere near. And once he gets into sort of his stride and more games and more minutes in the legs, and he is a physical beast, physical specimen. He's going to be huge for us. So it was a fantastic header. It was an absolutely fantastic header. He's a beast. He's a bully. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's on Sky Sports on the Instagram page. Probably, it might have been. It wasn't when we officially signed him. It's just before all the sort of the murmurings about him, and they put together like a highlight reel of him in Coventry. Wow, like beast. Kenny Ken says that he's got that sort of power when he runs and engages defender like of Stan Collymore. And if anybody's young enough to remember Stan Collymore, geez, man, that guy had everything: pace, power, height, strong off both feet, can smack a ball. But Gyökeres, yeah, when he gets fully fit, James, man, seriously, and AFC always, he's going to be a different beast. Now, a lot of people will go, oh, we need to see him in the box. But if you watch Gyökeres play, he can come a bit deep. You don't get double figures for goal. You don't get double figures for assists by accident. He can put his foot through the ball. He can pull into that left channel. He likes to run in behind. He also likes to run at defenders. So I guess it's a case of not taking that away from him fully, but also integrating him into the team to form partnerships and bring other people into play, which he will do. And you saw a snippet with that with the second goal for Bukayo Saka. Absolutely fantastic. Let me come to the chat quickly. Gyökeres will be unreal when he's fully fit, 100%. People clipping up that Donny who goes on the says he's a poor side because he's poor in the air. James, don't get me started, man. It's funny because when the talks were about Gyökeres, a lot of people were going, "Oh no, the rival fans, no, you should go for Sesko," because when I watched Gyökeres play against Man City in the Champions League, the ball was bobbling off against him, and you had certain fans going, "Oh no, forget Gyökeres, go all out for Isak." I'm thinking, we can see what you're doing. You don't want us to get Gyökeres, and why would you want Arsenal to have gone for someone like Gyökeres? The man scored 97 goals in 102 games and has double figures for assists in 2 seasons. Of course you don't want us to get him. Sorry, people, let me have a sip of my drink, sorry. But yeah, brilliant. Let me come back to this. Did I read James' chat already? No. No other player in our team makes that run or attacks the area of that box. Exactly. That's what you want your classic or your number 9 doing. Movement, Jimmy Changa. That's the difference. It was weird. It was like Gyökeres scored the Havertz goal and the Kai scored the Gyökeres goal. Yeah, very, very true, man. Very true. I'm going to star that question and I'm going to come back to FC always. Come to James again. It's that Arsenal fan who said he supported Man United till he was 7 and changed. I'm like, go back to support United, you sausage. Yeah, we know who said that, man. I don't know why you publicly come out and say that. It's just a very strange thing to say. Very strange. If it's true, cool, but come out and say it as an Arsenal podcast. That's just weird. But yeah, listen, I think I chose the right game to watch in pre-season, right? Like I said, more direct, more incisive, more quick. Obviously, the amount of changes that come in the second half, it's like, the tempo sort of goes from the game. But again, another good piece of play. When Madueke come on, big shout out to him. People were like, oh, he plays better from the right. And then what he gives you, Madueke, is he gives you balance on that left-hand side because he's naturally left-footed. Very direct, by the way. And with him, what I said was, one of the big criticisms I had with Gabriel Martinelli is that it's his end product and his decision-making in the final third, which hasn't got better. And I thought that's the same on Noni Madueke. I've said that. It's nothing new. But if he can increase his output in terms of better decision-making in the final third, Madueke, by 15, 20%, he starts over Martinelli every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Facts. He's more of a risk taker. He's more willing to go on the outside. He's more willing to take on his man and get past him. And that passion to play when he got the ball from, was it from Zubimendi or Rice? He got the ball in great cross to, fantastic cross, to Victor Gyökeres. The picture, look at that, like Superman. Great header. And I think the goalkeeper saved it onto the post. It was a great save, but I'd have loved if Victor Gyökeres that had gone in that second goal. That would have been amazing. 2-headed goals, man, from people that are saying that we can't head the ball. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, a great passage of play. And it just goes to show, 1, when you get it right. 2, when you move with pace and quickness and incisiveness. This is what we can do. But that has to come from the manager and the tactics. We've got to be, we're 21, 22 goals down on last season in the Premier League. That's unacceptable. Injuries or not. But yeah, great play from Madueke, man. And, that if that's a sign of things to come when the players are not fully fit, then that has to be a positive going into Old Trafford next week, which is going to be a very good, which is going to be an interesting game. United have had some good business, to be fair to them. Whether they get Belieber over the line from Brighton is another thing, but they've got obviously Benjamin Sesko in, they've got Nkunja, they've got him in Burmo. They've got a different look to their front three, irrespective of whatever their pre-season results have said. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. But yeah, Madueke, whether he starts on next Sunday is, I said this on Potsy's show on Friday with Liv and Kenya. I think Martinelli will get the nod because Mikel is obsessed with off the ball. Martinelli does great work off the ball. That's not the only thing you want him to do well in, because he needs to be a better guy on the other end of the pitch and more decisive. I think he'll start ahead of Madueke. If it's down to me, I would give Madueke the nod, but I think Martinelli will get the nod. And also, I think, and I said this to people, don't be shocked and surprised. I would start Gyökeres against Manchester United, but don't be surprised if Kai starts against United. It's not going to please a lot of fans, but I think with the back end of minutes that Gyökeres has got, I think he might just get the nod. But you don't know with Mikel, but he has with Havertz and the likes of Martinelli, he has them in the team. So I think the back four, I think it'd be Raya, it will be Timber, it will be Gabriel, Saliba, and it will be Lewis Skelly, Rice, Zubimendi, and Ødegaard, Martinelli, Gyökeres, and Saka. That would be my starting lineup. But I think throughout the course of the season, I don't want to steal my dear friend Sophie Nicolaou's thunder, because she said, look, Mars Lewis Skelly had a standout breakout season last season when he came in, but that's not his position at left back. He can play there. It's not his position. He'll get better defensively, but it's not his position. So there may be times where you might see a Ben White over to right back, Timber at left back, and then Gabriel and Saliba as centre backs. That's not a bad thing. That's a strong defensive unit. But I want to come back to Gyökeres quickly. I want to big up Sophie Nicolaou, man, because she said it on her stream. I want to get the tweet up if I can find it. She put out yesterday. So bear with me, people. She said something. It's a great tweet. I saw it. Where's Nicolaou? Where are you? She said on her show on the Hybrid Squad, subscribe to that, people. Gyökeres, the man needs food. Serve him up. Feed the beast and unleash him. Facts. And this man will do that. And I'm going to come back to the question that was posed to me. What a surprise. Look at that. If you actually, I don't know how long you've been in the stream, my friend, but if you actually listen to what I actually said, Bilbao were not the best. But as the old saying goes, and has never been changed, you can only play what is in front of you. But I find it interesting, the Man United fan coming into an Arsenal channel. That's very strange. But listen, whatever strikes your boat, so be it, man. But let me come to the chat quickly. Let me come back on screen. There I am. Come to the chat quickly. Yeah. And by the way, many people would have said the same. Bilbao were not great. But then many people say we lost to Villarreal and they weren't great. So make of it what you will. It's just the word next week. Absolutely. The media licking their lips in it. Sesko versus Gyökeres. Sesko versus Gyökeres. Gyökeres versus Sesko. Could you imagine if they both scored? That'd be hilarious. Don't know about anybody else, but I'm just happy to have an actual striker in the squad. I haven't had anyone of repute since Uber and Laka, and that's too long, Scott. I have to give a shout out to someone very, very special. Big Sis is in the chat. Sis, lots of love. Hi, Uncle Albert. Actually, it is my sis, but it's probably my little nephew's probably watching as well. So big up to little Malachi, man. Loves his football. Obviously, he had no choice in who he supports because I told him he's supporting Arsenal. He loves it anyway. He's got the bug. He has got the bug. He's caught it for the last couple of years now. So love to sister and nephew Malachi. Martinelli like a speedboat with no driver. Yeah, he's decision making, man. That's why I question the Madueke signing. But you don't buy a player for £52 million to keep him on the bench. Well said, Ryan Arsenal. Well said. It's going to be a better game than what I thought. Because I remember we played Manchester United last season at Old Trafford, and I dreaded watching it because United were poor, man. And then obviously Arsenal were on a run where they were struggling to win games. And we got the 1-1 draw. But listen, man. I could fair play. So I can only describe rival fans' attitude after yesterday. One word panic. You know, I don't know how long you've been in the stream, but I said it yesterday. When they saw the Gyökeres goal, they were like, "Oh, okay, this guy. Yeah, we've heard how good he is in the 97 goals, 102 games, and double figures. But when you see him play out and the ball from Zubimendi and the finish from Gyökeres, you're like, oh, okay, this is what Victor Gyökeres is about, and he's not even fully fit yet. So when he gets up and running, wow, got a beast of a striker. But let me come back to your question quickly. AFC always, man, of course, brother. If we don't sign Eze, would you play Nwaneri in the 10? I think, regardless of we sign Eze or not, you could play Nwaneri in the left 8 because it naturally gives you that balance, him being a left footer, and you can play him in the 10. I said about Eze, you guys, how long have you been following my channel? I've been a massive fan of Ebere Eze, even when he was at I should have kept it on the star so I can get it off the screen. What's it gone now? So bear with me, people. I've been a massive fan of Eze since QPR. I said in the season when Havertz signed for Chelsea that if there's one player I will look out for, it is Ebere Eze. He is a beautiful player to watch. He's the Roger Federer of football. The guile, he's a ball carrier. He's good from dead ball set pieces in terms of anything from 25 yards out from goal. He can stick it in the top bins. And I said this on Dan's channel, I'm going to repeat it again. We're obsessed with sections of our fan base talking about blocking pathways. No, you buy the best in class. You earn your right to be in the side. Eze, I believe, is an Arsenal fan. He's an SE10 lad. He's a Greenwich lad. He was devastated by being released by Arsenal when he was 13, 14. He wants to come back. I think if we do get him, I'm going to keep my powder dry. I think it'll be towards the end of the window. I generally feel that. So what you do, you add your best in class. Are Arsenal going to have a better opportunity to win the Premier League by blooding in a Nwaneri and Max Dowman at certain points? Max Dowman is 15. He's not even taking his GCSEs yet. Or you have a better chance with signing a Victor Gyökeres and also having an Eze on top of Zubimendi. It's a rhetorical question because you should know what the answer is. It's the latter. So if Eze is available, you absolutely... I said it, I messaged Kenny, Ken and Sophie yesterday. If Arsenal don't go and get Eze over the line, that is a tragic failure for a player that you know wants to come to the club and you know would make a difference. And I said it with Ødegaard. It's not so much about last season. Let me get that into people's heads. Because people know, he's a captain and he had a one-off season. Mikel Arteta has hooked Martin Ødegaard in games for as long as I can remember. And the reason why he's doing that is because he's not affecting games. So when Ødegaard isn't playing well, or he's slowing up the play too much, Ebere Eze, you don't bring someone like Ebere Eze to Arsenal to warm the bench. He's coming here to start games. And he gives us a massive chance. Now, there's part of me thinking, are Arsenal done in the window? And when I mean done in the window in terms of players coming in, but we need to move players on. There's still time to do it. There's still time to do it. And it needs to happen. And as well as Berta coming in and being very good at attracting players and bringing quality in, he's also very good at moving players on and getting decent money. I'm talking about maybe down the line, your golden nugget in Saliba, he will fetch serious money if and when he does choose to want to leave Arsenal, because he will want to go on. But we've got him for now. And also, the players that are not so great. Look at Liverpool, the likes of your Jordan Ives, your Ryan Brewsters, your what's his name, Dominic Solankis. When you're moving on these players for good money, we need to be better at doing that with Arsenal. So your likes of your Lokongas, your Fabio Vieiras, your what's his name again? Reece Nelson. These people need to be moved on. They do. So let me come to chat quickly. Come to chat anyways. Yeah, I think they'll be concentrating more on that. 100%. Yeah, I get what you mean with that as well. So Eze for me, Saka needs a number 10. He needs a number 10 in order to enhance him in terms of more support, because what you don't want with Saka is he gets doubled up on every week, and even then he still manages to wriggle through. And you know what Saka's going to do, but are you actually going to stop him from doing it? That's the thing. So Eze is vital, man. He's vital he's a player that we don't have at Arsenal for years. And it is the elephant in the room with Martin Odegaard. If he's not on form or he's not starting in certain games, it's because you're bringing in someone like the class and caliber of Roberto Eze. Looking forward to seeing him play today in the Community Shield. But yeah, Wadneri for me, you play him in a 10 or you play him in an 8. You got to get him more central, and you got to get him on the half turn. And to get him on the half turn, you need to get the ball into him a lot quicker. For me, but yeah, we need to sell players on. No, more likely it will be probably loans, obligation to buy. But I want to see some money coming in as well, man. That's important to Arsenal. But people, kick up the likes, subscribe to Albert JTV. Thank you for tuning in on this Sunday afternoon. Much appreciated. Like I said before, people, if you don't know what to do by now, this is what you should do. There you have it, people. Funky, serene music to subscribe to Albert JTV. All the listeners, if you're wondering what that was. But yeah, listen, pre-season's over. We've got United away next Sunday. I will be doing a live watch along, guest hosting on the 12th Man podcast with Dan Potts, and it'll also be collaborating on my channel as well. So there'll be 2 watch alongs simultaneously at once. So looking forward to it. As I said, the proper South East London comes out in May when I do live watch along. So looking forward to it and tapping into the 12th Man podcast audience and on my channel as well. And I'm sure I'll still get people in the chat ask me on 12th Man, where's Dan Potts? At the game. At the game. And of course, Zinchenko. But he might just plonk himself on the bench, Jenny, and stay in London, and we can't move him on. But we'll see. We'll see. But people, like I said, smash the like, subscribe to Albert JTV. Audio listeners, I hope you enjoyed it when you listen to it back. I will clip up some bits and put it on my TikTok and Facebook and all social media platforms. But yeah, it's Builders Sesko versus Gyökeres. It's almost like a court case, isn't it? But no, people, like I said, love for the love. I appreciate your support. And listen, strap your seatbelts in. This could be a very interesting season for the mighty Arsenal. So people, there's not a lot left to say other than hashtag episode 42 of Weekly Surgery. Time to talk Arsenal. Glock 14. Hashtag control the tempo. Have arrived at the red carpet. See you soon, people. Over and out.